So I'm walking today about an hour and 15 minutes earlier than I usually do. I couldn't sleep, so I got up early. And it was a beautiful, like when I woke up, or like when I get up, because I woke up even earlier than that. But when I woke up, get out of bed, that's what I mean. There was a beautiful sunrise and a halo of like very, I would say like ruby pinkish colors, and it was spectacular, and it was gone in, I don't know, 10 minutes, because I was taking a shower and then I got out and it was like this. So it's incredible how quickly these different phases of the sunrise and of the dawn, how quickly it changes, you know, the colors and all these various hues of reds and then yellows and orange. Now it doesn't feel like there is a sunrise anymore, to be honest. It's very interesting. Yeah, so I'm curious if we're gonna see more animals since we're an hour earlier, or if we're gonna meet or come across more animals and we have more encounters. Not sure. Maybe I'm just gonna blabber more because my brain is even more scrambled. Maybe that's gonna be the case. We'll see. I wonder if Drake goes to the feeder because he knows that he's gonna get treated if he's gonna come back, or if he genuinely, good boy, if he genuinely wants to sniff it in there, you know. Sometimes I think, is he going there just to get a treat because, you know, he's gonna be rewarded when he comes back? I don't know, but he comes very promptly, you know. When I call him, he's here immediately. He's like ready for it, you know, ready for the call, ready for being called and getting that treat. So I'm always like, is he doing that on purpose? Whatever is the case, you know, I'm glad to give him a treat and glad to reinforce his responses to calls. Yeah, we got a song thrush from the left. Yep. And I believe still the same guy as usual. And it's quite cold. I mean, these last 3 days, it got pretty cold. Even in the night when you open a window, you can kind of feel the cold air seeping in. And these mornings are pretty chilly. I don't know, I think it's about 2 degrees maybe. But yeah, it feels pretty chilly. Actually, I would say proper February morning. And then throughout the day it gets warmer. And I checked the forecast, and it still seems like the winter's not gonna come back, surprisingly. I really thought it will. I really thought it will. I was certain of it, and it still doesn't seem like it will. And I still cannot believe it, to be honest. I'm not convinced. I mean, I remember there was always this time when it was like almost like it felt like spring and it was warm, and then it hit back, you know, and then there was a snow and there were frosts, but it's nowhere in sight, to be honest. And on the garden, I see like, I checked some trees yesterday, and some of the trees are ready to bloom, like the cherries and the what do you call them? my God, the other Jesus Christ, my brain really scrambled today. Such a basic word. I mean, come on, it's like apples and pears. Yeah, pears. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I checked the pear tree, and also there were a lot of blooms, or like not blooms, but like buds ready to flower, essentially in a couple of weeks' time. So everything's ready and prepped up for, you know, going full out. Still kind of hesitant, you know, but it's there. So I'm surprised, really. I don't know. I guess spring could come because we're nearing towards the middle of March, and it wouldn't be such a surprise that it would come around that time, I guess. Well, you know, time flies pretty much, but still. Wow, look at that. Yeah, we got it. We got a sun after such a long time. Finally, some sun. Yeah, I even stopped counting because it was every morning. It was gloomy, it was dark, it was like no sun at all. And finally, we got a sunshine in the morning. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, so I guess it could come in the middle of March or towards the second half of March. But I still expect a cold spell. I still do. And I hope it's not going to come too late. I don't hope it's not going to come at a point where everything's going to be in bloom and the flowers will freeze off or something. That would really suck. And it's always difficult for, you know, also birds as well, because they start nesting and their chicks can freeze, and it's sort of like a, you could call it like ecological trap or something. I don't know, how would you call it, but you know, it's like, oh, it's spring and everything gets ready. Drake is acting erratic. I think he found something, some track. I mean, what is it, Drake? Yeah, he's acting more excited than usual. You know, these tracks, I call them psychoactive tracks. It's like when he gets a sniff of it, he's like, oh my God, I gotta find it, I gotta find this thing. Oh, you know, he's like as if he got some sort of a, I don't know, a line of coke or something. So I'm calling these tracks psychoactive tracks because, you know, when he gets a whiff of it, he gets very activated. Yeah. And then there's one thing that he loves. When there's a hole and there's probably a strong scent of animal coming from it, he digs his entire snout into the hole to a point up to his ears almost, and he takes these deep breaths, you know, deep long breaths, like, and then he like and he like lets out, and then he takes another one, and you know, and this kind of thing. And it's so funny to watch, and I call these holes actually it's funny in Czech, but I'm not sure if it's that's funny in English, but I would translate it as a sniff hole, you know. It doesn't sound as funny as the Czech one. The Czech version is čmuchdíra, you know, which is like, yeah, it's a sniff hole essentially, but it sounds more funny in Czech for whatever reason. Maybe the word čmuch, because it's I don't know, it's funny. Anyway, wow, look at that. Whew, that's cool. Yeah. And the morning instantly gets a completely different feel to me when it's sunny. It's like, I'm not saying like, I don't find it depressing when there is like dark, misty, gloomy morning, I'm not like, oh no, you know. I'm like, yeah, whatever, you know, winter. But when there is a sun, it's just, it feels so great. Yeah, everything feels so much more alive, and I don't know, so like, so beautiful. Even though not much changes, right? It's just, there is a different lightning, you know, but it brings out the colors of things, and brings in more light into every single corner, and I don't know, yeah, it just feels good. Yeah, so sniff holes. And what was I saying? The cold spells, yeah. This might become a sort of a, I don't know if it's a cold, like if it has a term or something, like ecological trap. I don't think so, I don't know. But you know, everything's like pumped up for spring, and then actually a period of warm weather comes, and everything really considers that a spring already, and then boom, winter comes back, you know. Everything's already set in motion, like birds nesting, trees flowering. We got a king of birds, the wren, Eurasian wren, troglodytes, not sure what the pronunciation is. Textbook song. And that, I'm not sure if you heard those contact calls. They were like tip 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 flying above us. So those were crossbills, and we've heard them once, and I said I'm gonna focus on them later on. Those were crossbills, and we're gonna definitely hear them better some other time. Yeah, but man, this wren is going. Yeah, he's pumped up. See, like singing one song after another. And it's a very long, loud song, and yeah, still going. Very cool. Yeah, it's holding the same territory as well. So clearly these territories established like at some point in February, and those birds just keep it. You know, you see the song thrush is keeping the same one, this one's keeping the same one, and we came across many other species, and I always say, yeah, that's the same guy from the same spot. So they're keeping the same territory, you know, hold it as long as they can. Of course, there can be some territorial battles from time to time, and they can be driven out of their territory by another male. That happens, of course. But yeah, they hold it for as long as they can, and then they establish a nest there, and they hold it still there, still then after it, and sing and let everyone know this is our turf, you know. So yeah, and yeah, the ecological trap, everything's set in motion already. Flowers are blooming, and you know, insects flew out, like bumblebees and bees and all sorts of insects that feed on the nectar, and then the cold spell comes, everything freezes. Those animals that woke up from the winter slumber, you know, from hibernation, they get hit by that frost. The chicks that are already maybe even hatched in the nests get hit by the frost, you know, and it's pretty harsh, and it can kill a lot of animals, and it can kill those blooms and then prevent that trees and plants from propagating, and of course forming fruit, which is providing food for us and for, you know, other animals. And so it's like a whole thing that can create a cascade effect, which is pretty damn bad. Oh wow. Well, that was and that's the first one I'm seeing this year. I don't know if the camera got it, because I'm not sure if it's pointing that up, but you've heard the wing sound. Well, that was That was a wood pigeon. Um, uh, mm, and I don't think I can remember the Latin name. It was something Columba, something Columbus, Columba, whatever. I'm gonna, of course, post it in the subtitles as always. But that was a wood pigeon, and that was the first one for me, at least this year. I mean, they're definitely sooner in cities, but here that's the first one I'm seeing. And we're definitely going to talk about that one because it's got a pretty specific field marks that you can recognize this wood pigeon from, and it's got a very specific call, a very specific song we're going to learn too. We're definitely going to hear it in a few weeks' time. But this was the first wood pigeon I've seen. And this thing you're hearing, that's the Morse code I was talking about. That's a nuthatch. And they're sniffing out something. Yeah, see, that's another type of call. Like, nuthatches are one of the birds that have loads of different calls, but they all sound kind of similar, you know? They're in the same pitch, same loudness, sort of. There's another bird there singing right now. This is a very rich corner. That one, that was a, and above us, this pink. Above us, pink, and that up there, it's a Fringilla. That's a finch, a chaffinch. That one, chaffinch. Chaffinch, and above us as well, this pink, that's a contact call. And we actually heard the wood pigeon. I'm not sure if you caught it, but there was a wood pigeon calling from above. Probably you couldn't hear it. We're definitely gonna hear it on our walks. I mean, this guy's gonna, in the upcoming days, it's gonna call a lot. So we're gonna learn it. And there's a really funny sort of a saying of how you can remember the song. It works in Czech, but I'm gonna figure out a way how it's gonna work in English too, hopefully. But yeah, we've heard it. I mean, I've heard it. I'm not sure if you did, but that's a chaffinch, Fringilla calyps, and it was above us as well with this pink contact call. And there's actually another bird, that one, this one, that is, yeah, switching spots with the chaffinch. That was chaffinch. That one. It's not very audible, but that was a greenfinch, and we've heard it a couple times, but I didn't focus on it just yet, but I definitely will at some point. Yeah, so yeah, chaffinch again. So that was an interesting ending. We got a lot of species that we could listen to, and I just wanted to mention that tomorrow and the day after tomorrow I'm not going to capture any videos again because I have so much work on the garden. And last time when I did Saturday, it really took a lot of time for me that I then needed on the garden, and I didn't manage to do it all. So this time I'm not doing the weekend captures for this reason, you know, because I really need to do all that work on the garden. So no video tomorrow, no video after tomorrow, but I'll be back on Monday as usual. So yep, that's all I wanted to say, a little announcement, and I'm signing off.